Welcome back, everybody. You are looking at the finals bracket here. Eric Kubo on his very innovative Fanatic combo deck going up against John Hubbard on the tried and true Boros Energy deck. 22 players. Now we're down to a top 8 that featured this breakdown of absolutely everything. Kubo wound up beating Ori Swin's Belcher combo deck in the last semifinal, and it is going to be myself and Eric sitting in the right spots this time around going into the finals matchup, which is just underway.
Yeah, let's hop right into it. Our players are ready for us. Oh, it looks like the
camera
has frozen.
is not ready for us, but we are ready. As we can see already, things have gotten off to a start. John Hubbard on the right, second seed on the play. Eric Kubo on the left, last seed, number 8, sneaking into the top 8 here, but has gotten things underway. Already a voice of victory and an Ocelot Pride on John Hubbard's side, whereas Eric Kubo has played Utopia Sprawl on that old-looking forest and an island, because this Fanatic combo deck is doing some silly things.
Yeah, that's for sure. I have not seen the full list, but I was told it's an Aspiring Spike brew that utilizes stuff like Fanatic of Rhonas as well as Temur Battlecrier to try to cost reduce your stuff and generate a lot of mana.
Yep.
And then bounce a bunch of things.
Basically bounces things and then Karn boards your way to victory with a walking ballista.
Makes sense to me. I mean, let's see. Cactus Sure Shot, Run in 6, Karn, Eshki Dragon Claw, very cool. 3 Phyrexian Metamorphs. Honestly, I would play this.
Yeah. Kubo making a Bisman-like run from event. Yeah, it's true. Bisman with his Kragenwick Cremator throw deck. Was playing it here today. Unfortunately, did not top 8 with it this time around. But Hubbard plays the voice, has the Ocelot Pride, has an Ajani at the top of the screen as well. And the Boros Energy deck is Boros Energying.
Yeah, that is a lot of damage coming at Kubo here. 3, 4, 5. Gaining 1 for Hubbard here, triggering his cat. Most notably, I think that does give him City's Blessing, so that Ocelot Pride is going to be making like 6 more tokens.
Yeah, because you're going to be getting ones from the Warriors, ones from the Cats. Oh, and we have a Static Prison just getting rid of the Utopia Sprawl.
That's rude.
Oh, man. Hubbard just not letting Kubo have any sort of room in this one, just getting off to the races. And like you said, this Ocelot Pride is going to trigger. There's tons of tokens coming down.
Yeah, so Pride makes a cat, and then we'll make 1 cat, 2 warriors, and a cat warrior as well. So 5 total tokens here for that Ocelot Pride. Kubo's scooping it up, not having any answer to this insane board that Hubbard has started off with.
Kubo had the combo deck. What the hell just happened?
Don't you know, Boros Energy is always a combo. A plus B. Ocelot Pride plus the rest of the deck.
Damn. All right, so that was Hubbard's turn 3?
Yeah, turn 3. Essentially, Kubo concealing to a dead on turn 4 board.
Yeah, all right, so this Fanatic combo deck, since we might not get a chance to see it really quickly, deck list hopefully will be posted online a little bit later when we end up having all the VODs and everything posted, but this is a Karn the Great Creator deck where you're going to be Karn boarding for a bunch of different kinds of things from your sideboard. However, there are 3 copies of Ren and 6. We wind up having 4 Fanatic of Rhonas, which is what the namesake card of the deck is after. Outcaster Trailblazer, 4 of those. 3 Phyrexian Metamorph, 3 Temur Battlecriers as your cost reducer. We actually wind up having 4 Green Sun Zeniths to find any of these green cards as well. Malevolent Rumble's going to be creating you a little bit of extra mana, as well as being able to just find one of these combo pieces. 4 copies of Utopia Sprawl, 1 stock up in there, because why the hell not? The card is pretty good. Then we have the Cactus Folk Sure Shot, we have the Eshki Dragon Claw, we have a Titania Protector of Argoth, and we have a Sylvan Safekeeper as all of our one-of targets to tutor for. This deck has a lot of different things. What it is looking to do is to eventually Karn the Great Creator. You wind up making a ton of mana with your Fanatics of Rhonas. So you're going to be tapping and untapping everything, as long as you wind up having your your Temur Battlecriers out. Everything that is 4 power or greater is going to be mana, reducing your mana cost by 1. You eventually Karn board for a Ancestral Statue. Ancestral Statue, I believe, is your bounce piece. You're going to be, as Kubo has said a couple of times so far, doing this 1,000 times. At the end of all of that, you will have a ton of Fanatic of Rhonas mana floating, so this Ancestral Statue will then bounce the Karn, replay the Karn, find Walking Ballista, and kill you.
Yeah. kind of insane. I do think.
What's the
Kubo-
Boros Energy deck do?
I don't really know. Obviously, there's some wear and tears that Hubbard was probably bringing in to try and deal with the main combo because obviously he knows it's a Karn deck. Aside from that, I don't really know because Ancestral Statue most notably is a creature, so like Deafening Silence doesn't really stop it.
No.
Orb's Champion coming down to get the key combo turns because you can kind of see it coming from a mile away. And then aside from that, there is probably an argument for Wrath of the Skies, maybe, but I think everything is so big, it's not really relying on rocks or anything like that.
Yeah, one of the things that Ori's deck does have going for it is that, besides being able to Green Sun Zenith, for Kubo's deck, besides having a Green Sun Zenith for a Dryad Arbor early on in the game, your Wrath of the Skies isn't going to be hitting a lot of these like 3 mana cost things, and it's basically going to be doing the thing where since your mana costs are reduced, you're not going to be necessarily susceptible to things like Fatal Push is bad against this deck. So Wrath of the Skies, unless you've had a lot of Galvanic Discharge energy or you had that really Guided Souls, not going to be super great at killing what this deck is doing.
Yeah, because even like Celestial Purge doesn't line up well into this deck. Sure, you can hit a Battlecrier, but they'll just be like, okay, yeah, here's another one.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the Temur Battlecrier is basically the only target.
Battlecrier, Eshki is also a Temur card.
Oh, Eshki is also Temur. That's right. Yeah, I was thinking like Surok, where it's only green.
Yeah, and then red is 6 deck.
Yeah. What does Eshki? Let's take a quick look at Eshki just in case everybody else thought it was an entirely different card like I did. As both players getting started off here, just lands and go here. Eshki Dragonclaw. Beginning of your combat on your turn, if you cast both a creature and a non-creature, draw a card and put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Vigilance, Trample. Well, that's a lot of text.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to remember all that?
Still better than questing beast.
I mean, that's true.
Anybody else have a moment that thought the camera froze because Kubo held so still?
I thought that happened a couple of times before, but no, Kubo just holding very still. It's a very good, very difficult thing to have is the fact to stay still in a state where the ground shakes quite frequently. Let's put it that way. But all right, Kubo is going to surveil away a Fanatic of Rhonas. Says, you know, I don't need my combo piece quite yet. I'm going to put that one in the graveyard. Kubo most notably, okay, second Fanatic of Rhonas was just in the hand, so that's going to wind up in the battlefield here. And Kubo, it's no surprise to me that Kubo is the one that is playing a very convoluted combo deck like this, because Kubo's, the first event I ever went to, Kubo was the judge there, so.
Yeah, I was chatting with him a little bit between rounds. He said he did have Amulet Titan, he could have played that, but he's quite familiar with the deck enough to be like, yeah, you know, this is going to take me to the top. So instead he opted to play something fun and more in his range, and this list was it.
And this Fanatic of Rhonas is the key thing here. You can add a bunch of mana to your mana pool and activate only if you control a creature at power 4 or greater. Basically, you're going to be netting 2 mana every time you do this and bounce it with a statue, an Ancestral Statue. Pretty powerful.
How does the statue, like, flicker or bounce?
That's a good question. I'm going to have to see it back in action again. It looks like Hubbard is also reading the card.
That's so funny. It has Eternal Eye, so you could just make a guy that also just nets you 4 mana. Yeah. No, Static Prison.
Ah, Static Prison ruining all our fun again. No, this time it's not just going to be a blowout that immediately ends the game.
Yeah, Static Prison, 1 mana O-Ring like thing. Ooh, Hubbard not having a 1-drop here. He just played Land Go. Most notably Land Tap Go. But Temur Battlecrier, the other namesake card for the deck coming out. It is a 4/3, 3 mana. Makes everything that you cast 1 less during your turn for each creature that you control with power 4 or greater.
So right now it is reducing things very, very low. It winds up getting things like Malevolent Rumble down to just a singleton green mana. It winds up getting things like Karn down to 0. Very powerful thing to do.
Oh, man. I will say the orc guy in this picture looks pretty cool, but can we talk about the horse?
The horse is the coolest part. I thought that was basically going to be the battle crier itself. Like, sure, you have like this thing blowing the war horn or whatever, but those ponies. We had a discussion before about furry orcs and furry warriors.
Oh.
This furry pony is the one that kind of takes the cake.
Oh, Eshka coming out, or Eshki.
Sorry. So Eshki hits the battlefield after we were too busy looking at the pony to realize I hit the graveyard. Wound up getting flaged away, and
is that
Hubbard's going to be at 3.
Oh, it is Eshki.
Yeah, it's the alt art Eshki.
He's got all the alt arts, and like Hubbard's trying to match up the arts.
No, not quite. Okay, cool.
But Eshki hitting the board here with all the keywords we mentioned before.
Most notably, not haste.
Yep, but it does have Ward 1, and it's just big enough for Galvanic Discharge to be a little bit difficult to use here. Most notably, the Fanatic of Rhonas is still under the Static Prison here. Hubbard's still paying for it, because I think if Kugo got it back, it would just kind of spiral out of control here. Because you would go from 4 mana to 8 mana almost immediately.
So Hubbard just going to play land number 4. How do we want to do this?
Static Prison 2.
Thinking about it.
Oh.
Guide of Souls, that can keep Static Prison's lights on.
Yes, it can. 3 mana, Flage.
I'm thinking Spyro.
It could be Spyro. Spyro would be very good here.
That'd be optimal. Fable the Mirror Breaker is another one.
Yep.
Flage most notably won't kill Eshki.
Oh, looks like Kubo is at 16.
Oh, Kubo took 3 at some point. Probably Fetch Shock.
He did Flage.
I think Flage took care of the Battle Crier. All right, Spyro's going to hit. Spyro might not hit. Season Pyro Manager is going to hit.
Trigger. Discard. Molten Rain coming into this matchup. And Voice of Victory.
I mean, game number 1, you see Utopia Sprawl. You're just like, ooh, value, baby.
Yeah. Most notably, Molten Rain does destroy any land. It's not non-basic like a lot of things. So, immediately getting value here. Oh, he does exert the arena here. That's very interesting. Oh, he does have enough energy to jump the Spyro. So Spyro going for a 4-point life swing here.
And Eshki, with all those keywords, one of them is not jump or reach or flying. I can actually say that jump is like a pseudo keyword now because of Kane Traitorous Dragoon. It has the Final Fantasy text, so it's jump. This creature has flying as long as it's your turn.
That's so funny, actually. Very excited about the Final Fantasy cards.
We can't start talking about that because I won't stop. So
yeah, we gotta finish this match.
Kubo taking 4, which is the same number of the best Final Fantasy, and then we had the Temur Battlecrier into the Malevolent Rumble, which is exactly what we were talking about before.
Which this also triggers Eshki, so Eshki's gonna be a 6/6 trample.
Yeah. All right, so Rumble is the non-creature spell. We have Battlecrier as the creature spell. We are going to be getting, is that the Goblin?
I think that's Cactus Sure Shot. Cactus Folk
Sure Shot? The one of. What does this do? Oh yeah, there you go. This guy, I remember this from Limited. It's a good old 4/4. They gain a combat on your turn. Other creatures you control at power 4 or greater can trample and haste until end of turn. That's one way to end the game.
Yeah, it is. I wonder if I have this card. I'm starting to wonder if I can build this deck.
All right, but like we were talking about here, Eshki going to be getting +1/+1 or 2 +1/+1 counters, drawing a card, and that's going to be at the beginning of combat. So that's where these 2 counters are coming from. You don't have to swing right now, but there is vigilance and trample on this creature, so there's an argument to be made. Why don't you swing?
Yeah. The hard part for Kubo here is if John just has... Ooh, puts the Guide of Souls in front.
Blocking with the Guide of Souls. Interesting. That means Hubbard might not have a lot of creatures left in hand.
Right? Because I would have thought that, you know, you just keep the Guide of Souls around, start outvaluing him on life, and then start swinging with the flyer. Because Spyro's lethal in 3 turns. If you have another guy that just ups the clock a little bit.
I mean, we did wind up having John Hubbard used all the energy last turn, so this static prison is going away, and we have a second Fanatic of Rhonas.
Rhonas. And other Rhonas is coming back as well. We're getting really ready for his big swing turn here, because he does still have the other Fanatic Rhonas in the grave. He can pay, eternalize it, and then he gets haste from the Cactus Folk.
I mean, at this point, we're looking at a board where if John Hubbard attacks with too many things, Kubo might just overrun him.
Yeah, these one-ups actually paying off huge in Eric Kubo's deck. I was a little bit unsure about the one. I was like, oh, can you get them at the correct time when you need them? But they're actually paying off huge.
Bringing back up that Cactus Folk Sure Shot that was found. This is what we're talking about. Everything with power 4 or greater will get trample and haste until end of turn, which right now is there's at least two big things on the battlefield.
There's 2 big things. Could be 3.
Yeah, if we eternalize a Fanatic of Rhonas, then that's 3 big things. And that's just 2 swings away. One of those also, if we're able to cast a non-creature spell, we'll be gaining 2 additional counters. So we got 10, 14, potentially 16 damage if Kubo just doesn't kill with the combo.
Yeah, that's true. Doesn't he still need Karn for the combo here, I guess?
Does need Karn for the combo.
Oh, exerting again. Is it Flage? It is Flage.
All right. Flage gets exerted. Flage's second exertion rights, whatever I was calling it 10 minutes ago, I can't remember now. Where does the 3 damage go? That's the question. Reading the Cactus Folk Sure Shot.
I don't think Hubbard is allowed to swing here, unfortunately.
I mean, so at this point, there's a trigger from the Flage. We have to find out where it's going first.
Yeah, I would send it at Battlecrier, to be honest.
Probably the Battlecrier, since that is our cost reducer. Or is he considering sending it at Kubo's face? No, Battlecrier hits the graveyard. Hubbard's going to go up to 24. And we're actually swinging again. Is this going to wind up taking out one of the Fanatics, or is this going to try to threaten Kubo's life total?
Well, he can't take out the Fanatics. Fanatics are 1/4s.
Fanatics are 1/4s. I should read the card. For some reason, I'm just thinking of this, and I was like, oh, it's opposite of Lotus Cobra. That's a 2-1. No, it is not going to happen that way. All right.
Ooh, Eshki trading here.
We traded.
That's actually a little interesting. Does Kubo just kind of have it here? Because otherwise, I don't think I would have traded Eshki.
I guess you have to get rid of the Flage somehow, because the Flage was representing lethal next turn. So trading with the Flage, buying a turn at least. But let's see here. Does Kubo have the Karn?
3, Battlecrier.
Oh, tapping 4.
4. Not
tapping
3. 3?
And most importantly,
Outrider?
Outcaster Trailblazer.
Caster.
And this is going to be another kind of piece to kind of go to. Like, this is basically like if Mono Green Devotion decided to branch out into other colors.
Oh, Battlecrier's here. So, most notably, the 2 Fanatic of Rhonas can actually eternalize one of the guys.
There we go.
Get your guy, draw.
I have no
What
idea
is going on in the
background there, but it is not relevant to this match.
They are so loud, which does mean we can be as loud as we want because the players cannot hear us over that.
All right, so Kubo has eternalized the Fanatic of Rhonas, has the Temur Battlecrier. We are tapping a lot of mana here.
Yeah, Kubo does have 5 mana to work with here. He can still cast the Cactus Surefire. The Cactus Surefire. Cactus Folk Surefire. Sure shot?
Sure shot.
From hand, which would be a lot of damage, but it is not enough to be lethal on this board anymore.
Kubo also just has to be worried about the fact that Hubbard, unbeknownst to Kubo, known to us, has a Goblin Bombardment in hand. So if Kubo does not kill this turn, is very likely that John Hubbard is just going to 2-0 the finals.
Yeah, which, to be fair, I do think Boros Energy is very low to the ground compared to this combo deck that happens on turn 3, 4, 5.
And I say this flying Seasoned Pyromancer is really the thing that's going to be putting a thorn in Kubo's side, unless that Sure Shot has reach. If the Sure Shot has reach, then maybe not.
I don't think so. It feels like it should have reach. It has a gun.
It
does have
it does have reach.
All right.
So, all right.
So floating 4 green, adding a red, playing the Sure Shot.
Yep. We're gonna be casting that.
1 red, 1 green, 3 mana still. What the heck is that?
That's the Karn.
That's the Karn? Oh, he's played Tree Karn. Wait, what card did he just grab? Is that the statue?
I'm gonna equip Elemental here. Sure. Medium combat.
Oh, is that
Here, I'll make it infinitely large.
the Umbral Mantle?
Add green, untap it. Add green, untap it.
He's going. Oh, he's
Oh my god.
infinite mana.
He did the thing.
He's making infinite mana.
With trample. Yes, trample. There you go.
He's tapping for 4 and then untapping for 3. So this is netting 1 mana every single time he does this, doing this 1,000 times. And
What
he's
is
gonna
he paying
take
this
it.
into?
Not shuffle this back.
Huh?
What is he paying this into? All the infinite mana?
He paid a bunch of mana. It looked like he had a way to. I'm assuming he's bouncing the Karn and then replaying the Karn to get Walking Ballista. I don't know what he had in order to bounce the Karn.
Yeah, that's the part I'm not sure about.
I think we might have missed that while I was trying to find Umbral Mantle on our on our actual thing here.
Damn, but Kubo taking game number 2 here.
Damn, like we were saying, he needed to win that turn or he was dead to Hubbard's untap. So using the Umbral Mantle with Fanatic of Rhonas off of the Karn.
Oh no, it doesn't. It's not bouncing. Umbral Mantle gives +2/+2.
Until end of turn.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's just making a giant.
just making a
he's making
giant trampler.
thing. Okay. That's it. So not only is he making infinite mana, but he's making an infinitely sized Fanatic of Rhonas.
Yes. That's crazy.
Yeah. And he had Boomer Karn too, which is the old school. Yeah, this one. This was the Boomer Karn.
Planeswalker legend, Karn, my boy. Alright, but... Oh, looks like Hubbard is changing his sideboard plan a little bit. Looks like he decided he needed a couple other cards here.
I mean, at this point now, Hubbard sees the Umbral Mantle. He might not know about the Ancestral Statue game plan, which means that he might just be boarding into Wear Tear, Wrath of the Skies, all these sorts of things, right? The Eternalize also being a factor, like maybe putting in the Ghost Vacuum to deal with the things from the graveyard. But we know from looking at the rest of Kubo's list that Kubo's main way of doing things is mostly going to revolve around having the access to the Ancestral Statue, and there's also the ability of Aetherflux Reservoir in the Karn board.
Yep.
So if you have the ability to bounce and cast things a ton of times, that's also just going to build up a bunch of life.
Yeah, because then you just go Ancestral Statue into Aetherworks Marble, right? You replay the statue a bunch of times, and on the last one you decide to bounce Karn, replay Karn, play the Aetherworks Marble. Shoot.
And shoot him. So that's probably the combo that Kubo had been going for before. You have the ability as well, if you have a bunch of mana, to then just play Walking Ballista from the Karn board as well and kill people. But it looks like Aetherflux Reservoir is the go-to kill from Kubo's side, which is why you need to cast your Ancestral Statue, and I quote, about 1,000 times.
Alright, but looks like our players are back ready for us. Hopping right in. Elegant Parlor turn 1 for John Hubbard here.
We kept it on top.
Yeah.
Those
be a good
surveils from Hubbard are always better than putting it in the graveyard.
Yeah, they are. Turn 2, Johnny. Still very good for Hubbard here. Kubo probably going to go for a surveil, grab Commercial District. Unless he has removal for this Johnny that I didn't know about. But I don't think so. Kubo's deck is very linearly railroaded towards, Oh. He did grab the surveil.
No, just grabbing generic forest. This probably signals Utopia Sprawl.
Yeah, but you can do it on Commercial District anyways. 'Cause this is during Hubbard's end stuff.
Interesting. All right, so just finds basic forests. maybe worried about like a Blood Moon type effect.
That is also fair.
But then you says
Two
basic
mana.
island.
Mumble.
Are we rumbling? Are
Not
we
rumbling.
Rhonasin? Of the Fanatic variety?
That looks like it's Rhonas.
Yeah, Fanatic of Rhonas. All right, combo piece achieved.
Combo piece number 1. Hubbard probably gonna hit it with a static prison again. I don't
Don't be rude. Why you gotta put our boy in prison? All he's doing is wielding a staff.
He's a
And an Umbral
fanatic.
Mantle.
He's a fanatic of Snake God.
Rhonas is dead though, right?
Honestly, I don't know enough about the lore to say anything
I mean,
about that.
all those gods except for Hazard became God Eternals in War of the Spark, right? So they're all dead.
I thought they were eternal, hence the name. Oh, there's the static prison.
Ah, Static Prison comes on down and ruins the fun of the Fanatic of Rhonas for the second game in a row. But last time Hubbard did this, it was, beneficial for Kubo. But looks like we're just going to get a swing in here for 3 as Kubo goes down to 16.
Bombardment? Oh, just Pride.
Just Ocelot. Ah, man, it wasn't the one really good card in the deck. It was the other really good card in the deck. That's what we've got now with the Boros Energy deck.
Kubo mumbling. This is not a good spot for Kubo for sure. He's taking the land off of the Malevolent Rumble, so...
Damn, Green Sun Zenith, Outcaster, Trailblazer, and
Battlecrier.
the Battlecrier all hitting the graveyard. Most of those probably wanted to be on the battlefield for Kubo's deck.
Yeah, Kubo probably respecting Blood Moon a little bit too much. Like, John's not really fetching in such a way that you'd be like, oh yeah, Blood Moon's coming down.
Kubo, all right, throws down the Utopia Sprawl. Has to shock in order to do so, though. So Kubo down to 13.
Yeah, like this is what I was talking about before, right? He probably should have grabbed Commercial District, helps him dig one deeper, as well as already having the types for that, and then he wouldn't have had to shock here, because then he would have had D4 still.
All right, now.
Double green mana, though, making the Utopia Sprawl do green as well.
All right, so Hubbard gets the turn back here. Right now, there is only 5 damage that Hubbard is representing. However, that could flip very quickly, especially with a flipped Ajani, if that is the case. A Goblin Bombardment makes this board a lot more deadly looking. A Ragavan looks this board a lot more deadly looking as well.
Yes. But let's see here. A lot of lands coming out from Hubbard's side. Because also on this top-down board state, if he had Bombardment, I think he'd just slam it and kill Kubo here, so I don't think that is the play. Otherwise, he's thinking really hard about it for sure. Double
Ooh,
red, exerting the arena.
Oh, are we going to get the split cost
Ragavan.
between 2 things?
Yep. Other one is a voice. Oh, 3? Spyro.
Spire. Oh, this is sick. All right, we exerted it. We've used one of that on Ragavan, and then we used the other one on Season Pyromancer. So now we have a dead camera.
Shoot.
We need to go fix that really quickly. But that means we wind up having Ragavan is 2, Season Pyromancer is 2, and then the remaining amount of damage was on the board was the Ocelot Pride, the Ajani, and the token. So that represented 4, plus an additional 4 that's going to be hasting in. That's 8 altogether. That's going to watch Kubo go down to 5. Kubo is saying, I don't know, though. We might not have to turn this camera on. We might just wind up watching him concede. Because there is a ton of value that Hubbard has on the battlefield right now. 8 damage coming across, stealing the top card of Kubo's deck. As I say, this is going to put Kubo down to 5, yeah? Because this double haste coming in steals the top card of the library. 5 damage plus 4 coming across. Okay, puts him down to 4, right? Kubo making it look like his camera has frozen. It is not frozen.
I'd have to hit really well. All right. Yeah. No more.
Okay. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Taking 8. Okay, I did the math correctly the first time. So Kubo goes down to 5. Ragavan flips Sylvan Safekeeper. And I don't know if Kubo has a way to win the game from here.
cast this.
Kinda doesn't seem like it.
Cast the Sylvan Safekeeper, because why not?
Ocelot Pride.
I can protect all the things on my side. Not in addition to this, I'm gonna get the city's blessing. I'm gonna make
Oh, jeez.
roughly 1,000 tokens.
It is too bad Kubo's list doesn't have Dragon Back Assault. I know it's 6 mana, but you know, it could be a play here.
Could just be good old Brotherhood Zen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That would do some work. But at this point, Kubo is looking 6 ways to dead. Actually, more than 6 ways by looking at the number of things on Hubbard's battlefield.
Yeah.
As Kubo looks over the cards in hand, John Hubbard is 1 card away, and that's going to be it. John Hubbard taking the finals. Didn't need a combo of his own, just needed the good energy cards, and he is going to be taking the match 2-1. He's going to be your first card art regional championship qualifier champion. Congrats to John Hubbard, and congrats to the Boros Energy list.